Hey guys, how's it going? It's Molly. I'm here today to do a 3 Looks 1 palette and review on the Sigma Untamed palette. Here is what the inside of the palette looks like. I am wearing it on my eyes today. This is a preview of look number 1. Spoiler alert, really love this palette. So if you were curious about what looks I created with it and want to know more in-depth thoughts other than I love it, just keep watching. Okay, so for the first look, what I'm wanting to do is focus on like this quad right here. Just those, like that mustard and the grungy green. For whatever reason, that sounds beautiful. I'm gonna try this. This might look terrible, but I'm gonna go in with boho as my transition shade. And I'm just gonna use the double-ended Sigma brush that comes with it. I believe, yeah, it says on here, the black side is the E38 diffused crease, and then this side is the E54 medium sweeper brush. So this is good for like packing on shades onto the lid. This is good for crease work. So that is what I'm going to do. Oh my gosh, she's pigmented. She's very pigmented. And I don't know if I've mentioned this in videos yet, but I really like, even before I've put my concealer on, I really like kind of mapping the shape out by buffing it along my lower lash line and then sweeping up just kind of that natural line, if that makes sense. I feel like it just helps map out the shape. And then I'm taking whatever is left on the brush and just kind of sweeping up through the brow bone, just to help diffuse the color. Okay. Now on the opposite side, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Camouflage right here. It's like a grungy green. And I want to pat this on, whoa. She's pigmented. Holy macaroni. Wanting to, oh my goodness gracious, pack this on to the outer V. Then I may take a different brush to blend it out. In fact, I think I will. To blend it out, I'm just going to blend it out with this Moda Pro 430 brush. So I want to take this up into the crease just slightly. So to do that, I'm just doing little circular motions and windshield wiper motions. But that took some of the pigment away, so I am going to just pack it back onto the lid a wee bit. So I'm just kind of going back and forth between those two steps until it reaches the pigmentation that I am personally looking for. If you guys hear some rumbling in the background, baby is making a deposit in his diaper in the swing. Usually it takes him a minute, so I'll give him some time to get that situated before I rescue him from his poopy britches. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. Next, I want to go in with Envy, this shimmering green. It's so pretty. I am just gonna take it on my finger and pat that where Camouflage ends and overlap it a little bit to, I'd say probably, I don't know, till about there. Did you just make a poo? Oh my gosh. He's really going to town here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that green shade on a brush and kind of pop it into the crease just a little bit to help smooth that transition. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Hustle, this shade here, and I'm going to take that on the inner corner of my eyelid. We're gonna just slightly overlap Envy. I almost said Enchanted, I don't know why. With the shade Hustle. So we have that nice ombre sort of effect. I like a good ombre. The baby agrees. He likes a good ombre as well. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. For the lower lash line, I just took Boho, that mustard yellow. I took that all along it, smoked things out with some camouflage. I tried adding Envy, and I feel like it didn't show up very well, so that was kind of a bust. And then I also took Rebel on my like waterline, which I'm not sure how I feel about it. It probably won't stay very long. But I feel like it adds a little something extra, which I like. So that is it for look number one. I personally am loving the grunge factor. Like it's a wearable grunge. It's not like, oh my gosh, grungy. It's nice. So anyway, stay tuned for look number two and I will see you shortly. Okay, I'm back for look number two. For this one, I want to focus on this quad right here. So Instinct, Rebel, Spirit, and Feral. So kind of a mauve-y look. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is take Instinct on a fluffy brush and use this as my transition shade. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Feral on a Sigma. Oh, it's the one that comes in the palette. It's the E38. And I'm just going to deepen up the crease a little bit with this here. Okay, now on the opposite end of that brush, let's see, it's the E54 medium sweeper brush. I'm going to take Rebel and I'm going to pack this on my outer V and sweep it up into the crease. And then I'm flipping the brush around and using the E38 side to buff that out. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away with the shadows, so I am going to take a little bit of concealer to cancel out some of the pigment that I have on my lid right now. And I just like using my finger to do this. I'm not trying to do like a really intense or precise cut crease. I'm just trying to tone down the pigment that got on my lid. All right, now I'm just gonna take Spirit, this really pretty shimmer shade, on my ring finger. And I'm going to pop this on the lid. And then I'm also gonna take Fierce, this shade right here. And I'm gonna place this in between Spirit and Rebel to help everything kind of come together. I'm not a super big fan of stark shades on the lid. And because these shimmers need a little help, I am going to take Spirit on a wet brush and just help to really intensify the shine factor. Okay, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take Wicked, the black. It's a matte black. I'm taking it on an E21 smudge brush, and I'm going to use this kind of as a liner. So I'm just going to smudge this along my lash line, mostly on the outer like half. and then down below. And I smoked that out just a little bit with a brush. Okay, I am going to go ahead and do the rest of my face, and then I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, so this is the final look. I'll tell you guys the products that I used. I don't think I did this for look number one. For my lipstick, I've got on the Melt lipstick in the shade On The Go. It's just kind of a perfect nude for me. Blush is Buxom's Wanderlust blush in Seychelles. I love this. I've got the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder on, the Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive. It's gorgeous. What else? Got my Milk Makeup bronzer in the shade Baked. Beautiful. I think that's it, right? Okay, and then I'll come a little bit closer so you can see the eyes. Okay, so my bottom lash line, I did that off camera. I took the shade Dauntless, this blue, and used it as a liner in my waterline, and then I just kind of buffed it all along the lower lash line. And then I took Spirit and used that as an inner corner highlight. So this is the final look for look number two. I like it. It's a nice way to play with some blue eyeshadow to use it as liner. If the thought of just putting blue all over your lids is too much, that's what I like to do, is to use things as liner if I'm not feeling in a super colorful mood, I guess. So, all right, I will be back here shortly with look number three. Okay, I'm ready to do look number three. For this look, I just kind of want to go airy and light, I guess. So I'm going to go into Instinct here as my transition shade. The shade builds up on itself very nicely. You can do just kind of a wash of color, or you can make it more intense, which I definitely appreciate when shades do that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take Feral, and I want to just deepen up the crease a little bit with this. I want to be pretty precise with my placement of it. So, sorry. So I'm taking it on the medium sweeper brush, which is not a brush that I would typically use for this step. I am going to go ahead and tap on some glitter glue to help with the shimmers here. So I'm just tapping this all over my lid. And then I'm going to go in with Fierce on the inner and outer portions of my lid, just with my finger. And then I'm going to go in with Spirit on the very center of the lid. No idea why I said it that way. And then I'm going to just kind of get those shades exactly as pigmented as I'm hoping they will be. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera as usual, and I will be back to show you guys the final look for look number three. Okay, and then this is the finished look for look number three. It's just a soft romantic sort of look. If you wanted to make it more intense, you could add liner, lashes, play with it however you want. My face products are all exactly what I used for look number two, except for the lips. Today I've got the Dose of Colors lip gloss on in Almond Butter. Okay, so now let's just jump into the review portion of the video. I really like it. I do. When I first saw this and I saw the color story, I couldn't get my brain to get there. From a creative standpoint, I was like, I don't know what I would do with that. But now that I see it in person, it's very obviously broken up into quads. You can really use a lot of these shades together. And I like that. And I like that you can get a wide variety of things. So as you saw in this video, we went like grungy to just like soft and romantic. And so it's a really versatile palette. I do wish that this shade Spirit was maybe a little bit more opaque, but I don't hate it. I actually really, really like it, and I love the look that I came up with today. So there's nothing wrong with it. But I did find that I had to use it on top of a glitter glue and then with a wet brush. Like it was having a hard time. It needed some extra help. The mattes in here are phenomenal. They're very, very good. They blend out like a dream. They're super pigmented. I think look number one, when I was using camouflage, I was blown away by how impactful it was when I was packing it on my lid. So I appreciate that a lot. You will definitely get some fallout here. I recommend doing your eyes first. I had a little bit of fallout today. I just used a makeup wipe, no big deal. It came off, and then I put foundation on top of it, so you really can't see anything. So yeah, I'm very happy that I have. I'm happy that the rave reviews pulled me in and I got it. As far as whether or not, you know, if you guys are thinking that you want to go out and get it, I would recommend waiting for a sale. That's what I did. If you sign up for emails and texts at Sigma, you can always unsubscribe from the text if that annoys you. Like I have an email account that pretty much, well, it's become just all these promotions. It was my personal email that I was using for important things too, but now it's just kind of a promotion email. But anyways, if you sign up for emails and texts, you'll get an immediate amount off, I believe. But then they also have sales on a pretty regular basis. I want to say it's at least every like 3 months. So I want to say I got this for either 30 or 40% off. I think it was 40. I mean, they're good deals. So I would recommend waiting if you don't want to pay full price. I want to say they're $49. I could be wrong. But yeah, so if you don't want to pay full price, wait for a deal. But I think that's going to do it for the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, you should give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I love having people here. I love hearing from you guys. Comment down below if you have this palette, what you think of it. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.